Yo, my people, it's your boy Josh, aka 7am. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in once again. Hope you're having a good bank holiday so far. But Air Jordan 4, Nigel Sylvester, brick after bricks. Let's talk about it, man. So here's how I copped. So I took an L here, I took an L there, I took an L everywhere, man. Straight L's to the dome. I actually took an L on sneakers and I took an L on Offspring as well. But Offspring did announce they had a small first come first serve in store, so I said what's the odds, and you know me, there's opportunity, I'ma strike, I'ma score, and that's exactly what I did. Pulled up to the store, checked with staff if there was a spare UK10, they had one for me, and I was so grateful, I was so happy, man. I nearly shouted and screamed in that store because I was so happy. I had to hug a couple of the staff in there. But yo, real talk though, man, if you're a staff watching this and you remember my face, you better like, subscribe, and remember my face, because trust me, I will be back. But long story short, that's a delayed win. But yo though, I feel like the streets, they got weird signals and opinions and views towards this shoe. That's why I'm making this video, because I want to clear the air and deliver some real talk. But let's take it back to 2014. Nigel Sylvester is dropping his first shoe, and it's not an Air Jordan, it's a Nike SB Dunk High. And even though the colorway is simple, that's him making his foundation to beauty in simplicity. And as we know, the common pattern for all of his shoes is a simple colorway. There's one thing I know for sure, it's the backstory that really makes his shoes. Fast forward 12 years later, it's now 2026 May, we're at the brick after brick. But let's have a quick look at the shoe though. It's a really cool box, it's a brick textured box, comes with a Velcro strap. The shoe comes with 2 boxes of spare laces. We got a red laces and we also got like a charcoal grey one. But let's just start off with the kicks though first. As you can see, we got good leather, man. 4-grain leather, just like Nigel said, the man himself. But there's a few details on this shoe. Some details are more appreciated than others, but let me just quickly run through them. So on the toe box, we got the Nike swoosh. We got a leather brick textured hang tag, which is really sturdy. I don't think that's gonna fall off if you try and wear them. And I usually keep my tags on my kicks because you know how I like my joints, man. OG. We got a 3M netting backing, so this is actually reflective when you put the light on it. We also have a stone textured pull tab that says Bike Air on the back, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this is also leather, but it's like stone brick textured, which is it's pretty cool. We don't really get this type of treatment. But on the actual pull tab, we got like a bike embroidery. And that's really cool because as we know, when it's Nike SB or even with the SB Navy 4s, right? Even with the SB Navy 4s, right? It says SB on the back. But obviously, Nigel Sylvester, he's not a skateboarder, he's a BMX rider. So him having that little bike air and him having that bike embroidery, that's his stamp, like a Nike SB, you feel me? On the inside of the tongue, it says Jordan Backing Co. 2017. That's stitched in there with satin backing, pretty cool, pretty premium. All the lace aglets actually say brick on them, and I love it when the lace tips have like a text or some sort of cool detail. I always love that on lace tips. The last but not least detail are the insoles, which are again pretty simple but pretty cool. This is how the insoles look. One insole says Nigel Sylvester, the other insole says Nike Air, and it has a GD on it. I don't know what the GD means or stand for. Maybe it means God did. Maybe it's just something that's personal to him. Who knows? But overall, this is a very wearable colorway. This colorway will remind a lot of people of the Fire Red 4, but really and truly, to me, this actually reminds me of the Red Cements. But hey, let's just start clearing the air now. So what I've heard and what I've seen about these, people are saying is just a pre-aged Fire Red 4. People are saying it's just a Nigel 4 with a swoosh on the toe box. People are saying it's just a Sale Jordan 4, nothing major. And it seems like a majority of the people love this shoe because of the Sale hits. But really and truly, majority of the shoe is Sale. Like 70 to 80% of the shoe is Sale, even the laces. I'm seeing people saying this is also shoe of the year. Like people are copying this shoe and then saying shoe of the year has arrived, even in YouTube videos, Instagram, Twitter posts, you name it. But likewise, for the same reasons why people say they love this shoe, the same reasons why people say they hate it. But in my opinion, referring to a shoe as just and then putting shoe of the year in the same context, the same sentence, the same reference is so contradicting, because shoe of the year can't just be a just. That just will never cut it, you feel me? And because of these contradicting statements, it feels like people don't really love this shoe like they say they do. But let me just give my honest judgment and breakdown on these joints. Nigel has always found beauty in simplicity since 2014. So why is it a problem now? No one was saying this stuff in 2014, 2018. No one was saying this stuff. Even last year, no one was saying it. Because if we being really honest, his whole identity and approach is less is more. And if we just looking at the facts here now, this is an extremely premium shoe. Nigel said that we got a full grain leather. When's the last time we had that on a Jordan 4? That's like bin 23 type materials, maybe even better. Overall, this pair is solid. It looks like it's got an SB Jordan 4 shape. Let me pull out two pairs of Jordan 4s behind me just to compare the shape. One of them is a regular Jordan 4 that has the OG shape from 89 apparently, and one of them is an SB Navy 4. It definitely has some features of the SB shape, which is also a big plus. Well, it's a plus for comfortability anyway. But outside of the hype and people gravitating towards this shoe just because, this shoe does qualify for a Shoe of the Year candidate. Let me tell you why. It's due to the backstory, the campaign, the high quality materials, and its wearability. Like, look at the campaign. Jordan and Nigel were doing so much things to catch everyone's attention. They were having pop-ups, they had an online little Tetris game, they dropped a brick on some sick BMW, they were doing ride outs, link ups. Hey, the list goes on, man. Like, Nigel's really been pushing the shoe out before it came out. And hey, if it's catching eyes, people are gonna want the shoe. But let's just conclude this video real quick, man. This colorway does emulate a fire red 4, but really and truly it's a red cement 4. But a lot of people won't say that because the masses just copy each other. Don't shoot the messenger, man. Message! I can understand people not liking the shoe because of the hype or not wanting to follow the crowd. But it's not hype if you can build a solid and unique and authentic opinion on your own accord. And let's just be real. If these were sold as a SB Fire Red 4 or reimagined Fire Red 4, these wouldn't sell it as fast, but they'd still do numbers. So let's not deny that. Message! But low key though, people giving belittling opinions on the shoe, referring to the shoe as just a Fire Red with a swoosh, just a Nigel 4 with sail. You know, if they're referring to the shoe as just, it's kind of belittling and putting the shoe down, and I feel like that's wrong, especially with the effort that Jordan Brand of Nigel have put into the shoe. And in my opinion, just doesn't cut it for a Shoe of the Year candidate. And even though there is so much details and backstory towards this shoe, referring to the shoe as just and giving one vague response is very hype beast behavior, and I believe that's really wrong. But overall, this shoe is more than just a colorway. It's materials, backstory, campaign. But long down the line, years down the road, I can see these really being respected. And you know me, man, I'm not really one for hype and collabs, but I'm definitely excited for what Nigel has next in the bag for us. But if you made it this far, I just want to say thanks so much for tuning in, listening to what I have to say. Please drop your opinions in the comments or follow me on Instagram at 7 after midnight, man. Once again, thanks for tuning in. 7 a.m. out. Peace.